Welcome Primary 4, with you is Miss Noura Abdurrahman, and today we are going to start lesson number 1 on unit number 1, which is Adapt and Survive. Are you ready to start? Let's go! Okay, yesterday I went to a very cold place. What should I wear? Think with me. I should wear a jacket. Super, excellent. Okay, after that, I went to a very hot place like the desert. What should I do? Can I wear my jacket? No, I will take off my jacket and I wear a t-shirt. So why I'm wearing a jacket in a cold place and t-shirt in a hot place? Why? To keep alive. To keep alive or to survive. Survive means keep alive, survive. Okay, this is called adapt. I wear a jacket to adapt with cold weather and a t-shirt to adapt with hot weather. What is the meaning of adapt? Adaptation means make a change to survive. I wear a jacket to survive. This is called adaptation. What is the meaning of adaptation? Make a change to survive. Make a change to survive. It's called adaptation. Our lesson is talking about adaptation. What's the meaning of adaptation again? Make a change to survive. Make a change to survive. Okay. Why I am make an adaptation? Because the earth consists of different places. Look at me. This is the earth, the planet where we live. It has one color or different colors? Different colors. Excellent. Okay, let's start with the white color. The white color is right here and here. This is the two poles of the earth, North Pole and South Pole. The two poles. It's called the polar habitat. Polar habitat. This is the polar habitat or Arctic habitat, and it is the coldest places on the earth. It is with white color. Okay, what about the green color? It represents the forest. Excellent, represent the forest. What about the yellow color? Represent the desert. Super. And the last color, which is the blue, represent the oceans. The oceans. Excellent. So we have 4 habitats on the earth. What is the 4 habitats? Polar, forest, desert, and ocean. This is the 4 habitat or 4 environment. Environment. What is the meaning of habitat or environment? It is the place where the living organism live. What is the living organism? The humans, animals, and the plant live in 4 habitats or 4 environments. What is the 4 environments on the earth again? It is the forest, ocean, desert, and polar habitat. Forest, ocean, desert, and polar habitat or Arctic habitat. Environments like the polar habitat and high in the desert. Okay, in the water, some environment has a lot of water like oceans and a lake of water like desert. Some environments has a lot of food like forest and lake of food like deserts. Some environments has a lot of shelters. What is the meaning of shelter? Shelter, it's the place where the animal live. Like the bird lives on the tree, so the tree is the shelter of the bird. So shelter means the place where the animal live. Okay, again, what is the environmental changes? Temperature, water, food, and shelter. Temperature, water, food, and shelter. Temperature, water, food, and shelter. Okay, here we have 2 foxes, a white fox and a brown fox. why this fox is with white color and why this fox is with brown color. The white fox live in the, what is the habitat of the white fox? As you can see, a polar habitat. Excellent. He live in the polar habitat where is the snow or ice. So the white fox has a white fur to adapt or to hide on the environment, to adapt with the polar habitat. Okay, let's look to the brown fox. The brown fox live on the desert, so it has a brown fur or a sandy fur to adapt with the desert or to hide in the desert. This is called adaptation. What is the meaning of adaptation again? Make a change green like the leaves. When it's turned into green like the leaves, it will hide from other animals. This is called adaptation. It make a change to survive. Make a change to survive. This is called adaptation. We have two types of adaptation. Adaptation means make a change to survive. Some changes happened on the animal body, like what? This giraffe. This giraffe has a tall or a long neck. Why? To reach the leaves on the tree. So this adaptation is a change in a body or in the activity. It's a change in the body. The neck is a part of the body, so it's a change in the body. Miss Noura has two legs to walk. This is a change in the body. Change in the body. The change in the body is called structural adaptation, structural adaptation, or physical adaptation. We can say it structural or physical. Repeat after me. Structural. So the structural, it's a change in the body. Number two, a change in the behavior. It's called behavioral adaptation. Behavioral adaptation, it's a change in the behavior or on the activity. Like what? Look at this turtle. The turtle is hiding on its scale when it feels danger. This is a behavioral adaptation because it is a change in the behavior. It is something the turtle do. Okay, what about the lizard? This lizard is hiding under the rocks when it's sunny. So this is also a change in the behavior. A change in the behavior, so it's a behavioral adaptation. How many types of adaptation do we have? Structural and behavioral. Structural and behavioral. Structural, it's a change in the body. Behavioral, change on the behavior. And here we have some examples of different animals. Let's classify it into a structural and behavioral adaptation. Here the animal number one. It has a spines on its body. Spines on its body. This is a structural or behavioral adaptation. It is a structural adaptation. Okay, super, because the spines it's in the body. Number two, this fish. It's blow itself like a balloon to scare other fishes. So this is a structural or behavioral adaptation. It's a behavioral, super, because it's a change in the behavior. Number three, this bear, he is hiding behind the tree. This is a structural or behavioral? Behavioral, because it is an behavior or activity. Here the giraffe, it is a structural because of the tall neck, it's a change in the body. And the turtle, behavioral adaptation because it is a change in the behavior. Here we have the polar bear. The polar bear has a white fur, so it is a structural or behavioral? Structural because the fur is from the body. Okay, and the last one, the lizard hiding under the rocks. This is structural or behavioral? behavioral because it's a change in the behavior. So again, we have how many types of adaptation? Structural and behavioral. Structural, it's a change in the body, and behavioral, it's a change in the behavior. Excellent, super. Okay, now let's talk about adaptation in different animals. Let's start with the penguin. Penguin. Do you know what is the penguin? This is the penguin. Okay, what is the habitat of the penguin? Where does the penguins live? Huh? On the polar habitat. Polar habitat or polar environment, which is called Antarctica. Antarctica, and Antarctica, it's a polar habitat. Okay, on the polar habitat, the cold is hot or cold? The weather is cold or hot? It is very, very, very cold. Okay, how can the penguin keep warm on this cold place? It don't have a jacket like us. How can they keep warm? They have a ways of adaptation to keep warm. Three adaptations to keep warm. At first, it has feathers. It has a fur? No, it has feathers. Feathers. Feathers like birds. This is the feathers. Look at this picture. This is the feathers. So the feathers keep the penguin's body warm. Keep the penguin's body warm. It's called feathers. Okay, number two. It has fats. Look into the penguin. It has a lot of fat. It seems so fat because it has a lot of fat. And the fat keep its body warm. Keep its body warm. So again, the penguin has two things until now to keep the body warm. Feathers and fats. Feathers and fats. Feathers and fats keep the penguin body warm. Okay, number three. Let's look to the penguin's feet. The penguin's feet don't have feathers and don't have fats. Okay. How can they keep warm? If you are standing on ice without wearing a shoes, your feet will freeze, right? Okay. Why don't penguins' feet freeze? They don't have shoes like us. How can they keep warm? Okay, listen to me now. If I hurt myself in any place in my body, what will get out from my body? A blood, right? So all body have a blood. The blood in my body is moving inside a tubes. This tubes called blood vessels. Called blood vessels. Look into this picture. All my body have blood vessels, and the blood vessels have a blood inside it. The blood is moving inside blood vessels. Okay, can you see your blood vessels in your arm? Look into your arm. Can you see your blood vessels? This is called blood vessels. The blood in your body is moving inside blood vessels. Blood vessels. Okay, just the human has a blood vessel, or all the animals? The animals also has a blood vessels. So the penguin has a blood vessel? Yes, also the penguins have a blood vessels. Okay, listen to me now. The penguin body has a blood vessel, right? And the penguin body have what? Feathers and fats. Keep it warm. So the blood vessels under the blood vessels under the feathers and fat are warm or cold? It will be warm because the penguin body is warm. So the blood vessel under it will be warm. Okay. What about the feet? What about the feet? The feet also have a blood vessels. Okay. The blood vessels which has a blood in the feet, it is warm or cold? The feet don't have feather, don't have fat, and it is touching the eyes. It will be cold or warm? It will be cold. So again, the blood vessels on the body is warm, and the blood vessels on the feet is cold. So the body has a warm blood vessels, and the feet has cold blood vessels. Okay, how can we warm the cold blood vessels? Look at this. Look at this picture. the warm blood vessels from the body, the warm blood vessels from the body will weave around the cold blood vessels. What is the meaning of weave? It will hug it. Can you see it? It will hug the cold blood vessel, so it will be warm. It will be warm. Again, the warm blood vessel weave around the cold blood vessel, so it make it warm. When the warm hugging the cold, what will happen? The cold will be warm. Again, warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. Warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. Again, how can the penguin keep their food warm? Warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. Warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. So the penguin feet will keep warm. Why? Because the warm blood vessels from the body weave around cold blood vessels in the feet, so it will keep warm. Let's watch this video together.
What? They wear anti-freezing socks. Nah, penguins live in very cold climates and walk on ice. Hence, penguins have developed certain adaptations to avoid losing counter-current heat exchange. What is that? Wait, I'll explain. At the top of a penguin's feet, the arteries and veins wrap blood in veins, which is carrying blood away from the feet.
Can you see here in the video? The warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. Warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. Again, warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. So when I ask you, how can the penguin feet keep warm? Warm blood vessels weaves around cold blood vessels. Let's turn to the penguin. The penguin have a 3 adaptation to keep their body warm. Number 1, feathers. Number 2, fats. Number 3, blood vessels on its feet. Fats, feathers, blood vessels on its feet. Fats, feathers, blood vessel on its feet. So the penguin have fats, feathers, blood vessels on its feet. Okay, so at first we talked about adaptation. What is the meaning of adaptation? Make a change to survive. How many types of adaptation do we have? 2. Structural and behavioral. Structural, it is a change in the body, and behavioral, it's a change in the behavior. Okay, and we talked about the penguin. How can the penguin keep its body warm? Fats, feathers, and blood vessels on its feet. Blood vessels on its feet. How can the penguin keep their feet warm? The warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. Warm blood vessels weave around cold blood vessels. With you was Miss Noura Abdurrahman, and thank you for listening.